Hey everyone, it's Deborah Morgan with Kids Health Revolution. You're bouncing around here. Let's see if I can fix that. So coming into you live today with another quick video, and this is a series that I'm going to be doing. Hang on one quick second. Called What I Invest in to Help Improve My Son's Health. Hope the camera's not going to fall. It's still wavering a little. That's going to stop in a sec. Sorry guys. So I get a lot of questions from people about where to spend the money, right? This whole journey in alternative health and improving our kids' health, not the mainstream medical way, can be pretty darn expensive. And trust me, I get it. So I thought, let's do a little series on some of the important things that you can think about doing to help improve your kids' health. Other than diet, right? Diet is one of the things, but there's other things that we can be doing as well. So this little series will be things that we're doing in the Kids Health Revolution household that are particular to my son and his health conditions. This might not be true for everybody, but they might be things that can be generally applied, right? I'm just sharing information about our journey and you can apply it as you see fit and as you need to. So one of the things that I thought I'd start with is a fairly big ticket item that we just recently splashed out on for my son. Some of you who've been following my story for a while know that my son has recently been diagnosed with PANS, so pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric syndrome. And it has many triggers. For him, a strep infection started it. We've discovered he also has some Lyme co-infections, and we discovered that we had mold growing in our basement. So a lot of things going on, like a storm going on in that poor little guy's body. So the mold issue has been taken care of mostly. We've had the house remediated, mold taken out, you know, all of that stuff taken care of. The house has been scrubbed from top to bottom. We've washed all the clothes, all the stuffies, like everything you can possibly wash has been washed. And we feel like it's pretty good, but we thought, you know, maybe we could take one extra step to make sure that his air is as clean as it can be, because especially in a bedroom, when you think about how many hours our little kiddos spend in their bedrooms every night, between, you know, anywhere from 9 to 12 hours that they're in that space, we wanted to make sure that the air he was breathing in that space was as clean as it could be. So just taking one level of burden off of his body of trying to detoxify and deal with this whole storm going on. So we decided that we were going to invest in an air filter, and there is a bunch of air filters on the market out there. There's all kinds of different products. I did a lot of research on it. Took me quite a long time, got stuck in a little analysis paralysis for a while. I know you know what that's like. But then we decided to go with an IQ air filter. So I'm just gonna see, I don't know. Yeah, I think I can turn the camera around here for you. Hang on one sec. My son would kill me if he knew that I was filming in his bedroom. But anyway, here we are. Here's the bad boy here, the IQ air filter. So this, according to my research, is one of the best filters, partially because it has 4 different levels of filtration that the air goes through. It's supposedly hospital grade air that it comes out with. It's cleaning bacteria and viruses, very small particles. So I think it's down to 0.3 micrograms or something like that, which is very important when it comes to the mold. You need a very small particle filter when it comes to filtering out the mold mycotoxins. So we're not talking about filtering out the mold itself, but the mycotoxins that they kick out. So this is supposed to be very good for it. I also like it because it filters some of the volatile organic compounds, like some of the gases put off by our furniture and carpets and things like that in the air. So it kind of does double duty. Also like it because it's pretty quiet. I don't know if you can hear it, but it's running on a 1 at the moment. And if we turned it up, it has this nice little remote here. So if we put it on a 3, it starts to get a bit louder, but let me let you hear that. But not super loud. Like you could definitely sleep with that, right? Not bad. And you know, way up at the top speed, that's pretty loud. So we don't use this on that highest speed, except for maybe, you know, we'll run it for a little while, Often I'll put it up there when I'm vacuuming. If I'm kicking up some dust or I'm dusting in his room and I'm kicking up a bit of dust, I'll put it on for that purpose on that high level. But most of the time we run it around between a 1 and a 3. And we find that works really well. So now let me just turn the camera back around here so you're looking at me again and not the jerseys. And I've got a question here. Oh, yeah, it was used in hospitals when the SARS hit, according to he. Oh, that's awesome. I didn't know that. So, okay, so pretty good quality. So, good quality product. We've been really happy with it. You know, it's big for his space of room, so it's probably filtering more than just the air in his bedroom, but we wanted to make sure that we had enough to really do the job right. So this one was, we got it on sale for just under $1,000. The filters themselves are relatively expensive to replace, but they are supposed to last up to a year, so you should only have to replace them yearly, you know, running it on a regular sort of basis if you're not like doing huge remediation projects with it. So that is one thing that we decided was really important for us to invest in for my son's health. There are other things that you could spend your money on for sure. And so if toxicity is something in your house, then that's something that you want to look at. He is asking how much the filters cost. You know what, I can't remember off the top of my head. I think it's a couple $100, $200 or $300 to replace all the filters, because there's different levels of filters in this. So it's not cheap to replace them every year, but you know, when you're talking about hospital grade, I guess it's maybe worth it, right? If you didn't have mold in your home and you weren't worried about particles that small, you could probably get away with a smaller or cheaper system than we invested in. So that's something to think about. It's about everybody sort of pricing out the cost benefit ratio, right? And what degree of toxicity you think you're dealing with. So that's why we decided to go with this one, especially given the condition that we're dealing with, right? This is pediatric autoimmune neuropsychiatric syndrome. So there's inflammation in his brain, and that's something we're taking pretty darn seriously. So for us, the splash out of almost $1,000 on the unit and then the yearly cost for the filters was worth it. If your child has something that's less intensive, then you might go with something that's a little bit smaller and a little bit cheaper. This one is supposed to be really great for allergies and asthma, however, especially at this time of year when allergy and asthma sufferers are usually really having a hard time in the springtime. So something to think about, certainly not necessary to be the first step that you take, but it is something that can add to what you're already doing in getting rid of the chemicals in your home. You know, you're detoxifying your diet, you're doing anti-inflammatory diet, you're doing all of these things. And then this is another added layer that you can bring into it. It doesn't have to be where you start, for sure. There are other places, and we're going to do other videos on things that you can be doing that make a difference, that don't necessarily have to be this big spend. But I thought I would share this one with you because it's something that's going on for us very recently, and it's a recent addition to our routine in our home. So I hope you guys will enjoy this new little series. I'm going to come in every week for the next few weeks, and we're going to dive into something that we invest in to help improve my son's health. And these are our choices of where we allocate our budget, our money, in order to improve his health in the best way that we possibly can. Irritate your son with sensory issues. Yeah, if there's auditory sensory issues, possibly, but you know what, if you're listening to this video, I'm just gonna be quiet for a second. And I think you'll notice you can barely hear it. And that's on a 1, so that's filtering right now. It's filtering okay. And usually at night, we run it on a 2 or a 3. So I'm gonna put it up to a 2 right now so you can hear what that sounds like. So can you hear that? If you can hear it, just pop me a little comment there. It's really so quiet. It's just sort of a background noise. You barely notice it at all. And that's really one of the reasons that I chose it, because I looked at a lot of different models. Yeah, perfect, you can't hear it, so that's good. The microphone on this is pretty good, so if it was really loud, you should be able to hear it. And my son, he has some sensory issues. The auditory is not necessarily one of them, but he doesn't even notice it, absolutely doesn't notice it. And I'm a light sleeper, so noise like this would normally bother me, and I can sleep in his room and it doesn't bother me either. So, you know, certainly worth it. And I think that, you know, you might want to look into, is there some sort of guarantee or warranty if you buy it at a store, that you could take it back if it wasn't working for you. Something that you would want to check into for sure if there's some auditory sensory issues going on in your house. So that's it, you guys. I'm going to let you go on this one. We'll be coming at you on Thursday with the School Snack Series, and I'll be back next week with what I invest to improve in my son's health. I hope you guys are doing well. Questions and comments are always welcome below, and I will scroll through and answer anything I can. Take good care. Bye.